Becky Lynch in tears after Seth Rollins caught her cheating. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Before we dive into the absolute chaos that has the WWE Universe buzzing harder than a hornet's nest at a rock concert, let me ask you something. What happens when the man meets the consequences of her actions? Well, buckle up, butter cheats, because today we're peeling back the curtain on one of the most shocking moments in recent WWE history. And trust me, this is juicier than a championship steak dinner at Vince McMahon's house. But before we get into this absolute madness, do me a massive favor, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money, and hit that notification bell so hard it thinks it's getting hit with a Claymore kick, because you do not want to miss what is coming your way on WWE Extreme. Now let us talk about Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, the power couple that made us all believe in love again. These two were not just any ordinary WWE couple. They were the blueprint, the gold standard, the peanut butter to each other's jelly. We are talking about two of the biggest names in professional wrestling, living what seemed like a fairy tale romance that would make even the most cynical fan shed a tear. They got married, they had a beautiful daughter, and they were living the dream that every WWE fan shipped harder than Daniel Bryan's underdog story at WrestleMania 30. But here's the thing about fairy tales in the wrestling world. They have more plot twists than a season finale of a soap opera. The rumors started circulating faster than Brock Lesnar destroying his opponents. Social media was on fire. The wrestling forums were in absolute meltdown mode, and everyone wanted to know the truth. Was the man really caught in a compromising position? Did Seth Rollins, the architect of his own destiny, discover something that would shatter everything he believed in? The internet was going absolutely bananas. And honestly, can you blame them? When two of WWE's biggest stars are involved in drama, this explosive, it is like watching a car crash in slow motion. You cannot look away even if you wanted to. Here is what allegedly went down, and I need you to understand just how wild this situation is. Reports started emerging that Becky Lynch was seen getting a little too cozy with someone who was definitely not her husband. Now, I am not here to play judge, jury, and executioner, but when your relationship is as public as theirs, and you are both at the top of the wrestling mountain, every move you make is under a microscope bigger than the one scientists used to study microscopic organisms. The word on the street was that Seth discovered something on Becky's phone that made his heart drop faster than a ratings decline during a terrible storyline. Messages, pictures, conversations that painted a picture nobody wanted to see. But let us pump the brakes for a second and really analyze what this means for both of their careers. Becky Lynch, the woman who main event WrestleMania, who held championships like they were going out of style, suddenly found herself in the middle of a controversy that had nothing to do with wins and losses. And Seth Rollins, the former Shield brother, the guy who has carried WWE programming on his back more times than we can count, was reportedly devastated. We're talking about a man who wore his heart on his sleeve, who talked about his family with such pride and joy, suddenly faced with a betrayal that cut deeper than any steel chair shot ever could. The tears, oh man, the tears. Multiple sources close to the situation reported that Becky was absolutely beside herself when confronted. We are not talking about the tough-as-nails character she portrays on television. This was real emotion, real regret, real consequences hitting her like a freight train going 200 miles per hour. It is one thing to play a character on TV who is tough and untouchable, but it is another thing entirely to face the reality of your actions when the cameras stop rolling and real life comes knocking at your door with a sledgehammer. Now, here is where things get even more complicated, because this is not just about two people going through relationship problems. This is about two massive WWE superstars whose personal lives are bleeding into their professional ones faster than blood from a hardcore match. The WWE locker room was reportedly divided. Some people were Team Seth, believing he deserved better treatment from someone he trusted with everything. Others were more understanding of Becky's situation, whatever the full story might be. But here is the reality check. When you are at the level these two are at, your personal business becomes everybody's business whether you like it or not. Seth Rollins, to his credit, has always been a professional. The guy has dealt with his fair share of controversies over the years, from Twitter feuds to backstage politics, and he always managed to come out on top. But this was different. This was not about wrestling politics or who gets the main event spot. This was about his family, his trust, his entire world being turned upside down like a Spanish announce table at a pay-per-view event. Friends close to Seth said he was heartbroken, confused, and struggling to understand how things went so wrong so fast. And honestly, can anyone blame him? The WWE Universe's reaction was split right down the middle like a perfectly executed suplex. Some fans were sympathetic to Becky, understanding that relationships are complicated and nobody knows what happens behind closed doors. Others were absolutely furious, feeling like she betrayed not just Seth, but every fan who believed in their love story. Social media became a battlefield with hashtags flying around faster than Rey Mysterio doing a springboard move. Everyone had an opinion, everyone had something to say, and the drama just kept building like the anticipation before a Royal Rumble countdown. But here's what really matters in all of this chaos. Both Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are human beings. Yeah, they are larger-than-life superstars who entertain millions. But at the end of the day, they are people dealing with real emotions and real consequences. The wrestling business is tough enough without having your personal life dissected by millions of people online. These two built something special together, both in and out of the ring, and watching it potentially crumble is heartbreaking no matter which side you are on. The question now is what happens next? Can they work through this? Will we see them try to repair what was broken? Or is this the end of one of WWE's most beloved couples? Only time will tell, but one thing is for certain. The wrestling world will be watching every single move they make with the intensity of a last-minute kickout at WrestleMania. This story has more layers than a championship belt has plates, and we're probably only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Relationship. Whatever the complete truth of this situation is, and trust me, we probably do not know even half of it, one thing is crystal clear. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are going through something incredibly difficult, and they deserve the space to handle it privately, even though that seems impossible in today's social media-driven world. The tears, the heartbreak, the betrayal, it is all very real, and it reminds us that behind every championship reign and every five-star match, there are real people with real problems. Thanks for watching WWE Extreme. Hit that like button, and I will catch you in the next one.